Hey, this is Max, and welcome back to the Ronin System podcast. You don't know what room noise is? Just jumping straight into it. I would imagine you would.
No, ambient noise, yes.
Oh, I've heard it called room noise. Ambient noise too. Yeah, it all works the same.
I've heard white noise.
There you go.
Yeah, white noise. I guess that's what that
What's
is.
wrong with black noise?
But yeah, just for you to be aware, room noise or ambient noise is like capturing the natural sounds of wherever you're recording. So you get a couple of seconds, like 10, 15 seconds of it, so that you can get it and then use it as a base to reduce those noises.
Right,
so like
right.
cars going by, it's like static.
And also when you look at the actual audio file, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can actually see.
You can actually see what's going on, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we just jump straight into it.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
What are we talking about? Fights?
Fights. We have fights this weekend.
Fights this weekend. We've had fights.
We've had a bunch of different fights. It's actually been a great couple months. It's going to be a great couple months for the UFC, I think.
So we had
for all the fights that lined up.
Yeah, the big ones is in 2 weeks. Is it 2 weeks or 3 weeks? The Per Adesanya one.
That's 2 weeks. April 8th.
The guy's already cutting weight.
And
You see that?
Did you see Booger Sugar Jones back on the top? Bones Jones back on the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy.
He's so much more of a technical fighter than
I think it has a lot to do with working with Cejudo.
Yeah.
'Cause you saw that, right?
Yeah.
Like he's training with Cejudo now,
Yeah.
and like Cejudo actually released a training video, and like he actually breaks down pretty much the entire scenario. He's like,
His fight IQ is ridiculous.
yeah, it's like he's like, get him to the fence, get him down. Once he exposes his back, don't worry about chasing it. Just switch to something else, and then the submission is there.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what he did. So
Did you You might have not seen this because it was on social media. It got reported, but it was like live video between Cejudo and Aljamain. Is it? I think that's what he said. And they were just talking trash, and he's like, "My fight IQ I will beat you alone on fight IQ." Because like Aljamain's like, "I'll beat your ass." It ain't gonna happen, bro. It ain't gonna happen.
yeah, I don't think Aljamain stays champ for much longer if Cejudo comes into the picture.
Who's he fighting next?
It's weird. It flip flops between him fighting against Cejudo or him fighting against O'Malley, but they haven't. I think they made it official that he's fighting Cejudo, but then O'Malley's in the conversation as like.
I wouldn't
potentially
mind
back up.
seeing Cejudo beat the shit out of O'Malley.
Yeah.
And then the next one gets the title fight.
I don't know. I mean, I just want to see that fight.
Oh, see that fight.
Yeah, I think that's more of a.
I'm more interested in if Cejudo comes back, can he defend against Merab?
The
Willie?
Georgian guy.
Yeah, dude, that guy's fucking crazy.
Is that lightweight?
No,
That's Bantam.
Bantam.
Bantamweight.
But Bantams are about to fight tomorrow.
Yeah. Corey Sandhagen and Cheeto Vera.
They both made weight, ready to scrap.
Have you seen the evolution of Cheeto Vera, the way he looks?
Yeah, it's so weird. He's like 10 different guys.
Yeah.
What?
Have you seen that?
No.
He goes from like a super tan like cholo off to, like straight out of prison, and then he's got like long like dreads, and then he's
then now he's got like a shaved head. Like
Yeah, but he also
shredded.
looks like
he had like
now
a
he's
bowl
got
cut at one
tatted
point.
everywhere, though.
Yeah, he's got tattoos. Like it's crazy.
He still looks. He looks more like he used to look like you know, what do you call it? Like because the Chicano from California.
Yeah.
Now he looks like fucking straight MS-13.
I mean, the tattoo things. I think pretty much all fighters, if you look at their evolution, they just get more and more tattoos if they had one to begin with.
What's almost any NBA player as well.
Yeah.
Like
It's just the more money you
they
get.
might have like an ankle tat or like a little forearm thing, and then all of a sudden just a
certain countries in soccer too. Do you ever notice that?
oh yeah, they get
like
the full sleeve,
Argentina and
the
Italy
legs,
and like even Spain too. Like they're just all of a
the
sudden
leg tattoos.
and in Brazil.
Yeah.
They're just tatted like fucking girls.
Yeah, that doesn't really
Some
happen.
of them are
with,
dipping the toes in the neck tattoos a
a little much.
doesn't really happen with the Chinese.
Only a few
guys.
people can pull the neck tattoo.
I don't think anyone can pull it off.
Enzo Fernandez got that back neck tattoo.
Yeah, Yachty's got it. Yachty Molina's got like a really good one. You know, and he's okay. Everybody loves him. Nobody fucking says like, "Oh, you're."
He's got like top ramen for hair now. Looks like the Puerto Rican Justin Timberlake out here.
Puerto Rican Justin. Yeah, a lot of good fights, man.
Yeah, so he looked good. He's
Who?
John Jones. I think
Yeah.
that's what's unfortunate is it's not unfortunate. There's two things. I kind of like that Francis Ngannou left on his terms, and like he showed that you can be the top fighter and leave. However, it doesn't help that Dana was just like, fuck you, I got John Jones. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
if he didn't have like that guy waiting
like
in the
having
wings,
an ace of a sleeve type of
yeah,
thing.
if you didn't have that guy, then it hits much harder that this guy left with the belt. He did technically leave with the belt, right? But it's like if he didn't have John Jones, Dana White would probably have more egg on his face. He doesn't have egg on his face because he's got John Jones. You know what I'm saying?
Ngannou literally just folded with pocket aces.
Yeah, I mean, it's still good for him. He did what he wanted to do, and he got paid the way he wanted to get paid or whatever. And like,
where's he fighting now?
Nowhere.
So you just said he got paid.
I thought he did.
No, he's not signed anywhere.
Oh, my bad.
Ahmed retracts his statement.
Yeah, gotta retract.
Can you edit that out?
There's rumors that he's gonna be
One FC.
going. Yeah, one FC.
That's
or
what I was
one
going to say.
Sure.
Well, that's just
he
rumors.
was gonna fight in between Mikey Masumeki grappling
All right.
matches.
So if he fights for another promotion, is he gonna push as part of his deal to get the Fighters
Union?
Oh,
My thing is, if you sign somewhere else and the Fighters Union is not on the table, being that that's the hill you died on.
Was that the hill he died on?
Yeah.
He was all about it?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, fair pay and stuff
So
like that.
if you then go to another promotion and you don't have that.
Well, if
as
it's
part
fair
of your-
pay or is it like, unionized? Did he say that or is it fair
well,
pay?
I
Because
think-
fair pay is one thing.
Fair pay is one thing. I
Yeah,
agree.
because he'll go to one FC and people are probably technically paid more fairly than they are at UFC.
Yeah, I was gonna say like one
But they're not
championships from what I've seen, they treat and pay their fighters a lot better. Like a lot of them, they don't really need to promote themselves because the organization does it for them. You know, they feel more like employees.
Yeah.
Especially if you watch like the behind the scenes stuff. Like when I watched who was it? Demetrius Johnson beat Moraes in their second fight.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like post fight, all the fighters were just hanging out in the back, like talking about the fights. The same thing happened when he fought Rod Tang. Like as soon as he like choked him out or whatever, he's like talking to him. It's like I feel like they're all more friendly because they don't need to be
hyping
like,
up the fights.
yeah, they don't need to be like
because they're getting
and-
paid.
yeah. They don't need to be like
So there's a little bit
promoters
more
to themselves.
like there's a little bit more like you respect and they restrain all the shit talking more. Huh?
Yeah, it might also be a cultural thing, but
I'd like to know how the pay is different, aside from like the amount, right? That's the obvious, but like the negotiation, right? Is the UFC just harder on negotiations, or is there levels to it? Like if this is your first fight in the UFC, you're capped at making $30,000 per your fight, like something like that. I don't know. And one FC is like, hey, what do you bring to the table? Well, I bring 10 wins and X, Y, and Z, and I want to get paid 60. They're like, all right, we'll pay you 60. Like, how does the negotiation?
I don't
go,
know how
right?
one FC
I mean,
pays.
it's got to be so complicated to even describe.
Yeah. What? So
That's what I'm saying. So how can people be like, oh?
But I also think I don't think one championship does show win money. Like, you know, in UFC they do
Oh, you
like
get paid
10,000
like your
show,
salary,
10,000
like-
extra
oh,
to
okay.
win. I think they just do a flat like 20,000 win or lose.
Do you see? Do you watch one FC matches live or do you watch them the next day on YouTube or whatever?
It depends because they play them on like Wednesdays and Fridays,
Right.
which I guess to them is later in the week. But
And are they pay per view when they're live or no?
no, for all of them they've been free.
I've never seen.
And
one
what
live.
channel or what do you watch them on?
So you can watch them on YouTube. They do it on their accounts. But then they also they partner now with Prime, like Prime Video. So if you
Yeah.
have a Prime account, you can just catch it on there. Pretty much the same as like if you wanted to watch like tomorrow's UFC thing. It's going to be on Hulu and ESPN
Do they have
Plus.
like Pride, the camera in the ring, or no?
No, you talking about the guy like we're
Yeah.
like we're gonna go? No,
Yeah. They need to bring that back, bro. the like YouTube type of like
They
somebody's
already-
not YouTube, like a GoPro on their head.
As long as they're not doing like a fish lens where it's like looks like you're zoomed in on the one scene.
Yeah, no.
They've brought some. They're slowly bringing stuff back, like the grounded head strikes and stuff like that with the knee and stuff.
Yeah, the grounded knees I think are
Like if you're in turtle, you can get kneed in the head.
Oh,
yeah. That's how Demetrius lost.
Mhm. You can get leg.
I mean,
kicked
that's a
in the-
fight. You got.
I mean, dude,
It's- right?
if I felt like if Jose was in his prime going in that ONE FC, you would have been like seeing some.
Not only that, like if you're turtled up and then like the knees are coming from the right to left, and as soon as you turn your head, that knee boom.
like
you out.
him,
Dude,
Anderson Silva.
Khabib
Oh,
probably
yeah.
would have killed somebody.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like the Michael Johnson fight, the Edson Barboza fight. He would have killed those dudes.
Mm.
I saw that as a counterpoint to like how dominant Khabib is like he's like, man, if knees to the ground an opponent were allowed, then he'd be knocked out before he even went for the shot. But like, no, he'd get the shot,
Yeah.
and then he'd knee the fuck out of the dude.
Yeah.
he wasn't really stuffed very often.
Yeah, the only time he's ever really been stuffed hard is with McGregor.
There's been
Surprisingly.
a couple fights in the UFC that like dude goes down, turtles up, guy just like holds one hand on the shoulder, one hand on the hip, and the knee just right into the ribs, right, and then that just opens you up like a clam. Just,
Mhm.
brutal.
I told you guys about. Have you seen that fight with Khalil Roundtree?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Have you seen the fight where he like the guy's like down on his knees and instead of like soccer kicking his head, he soccer kicks him in the ribs?
Mhm.
Dude, that shit was fucking brutal. I feel like people should do that more often because like
Did the guy have his hands down or up?
so I think he was on his way to getting up
Okay.
and
So,
like
hands
Khalil
down.
gave him the space,
Okay.
came back and just went straight in for a soccer kick straight to the ribs. Like you could see the guy like lift up, and this is light heavyweight. These are big dudes. He like lifted up, and then he tried to follow it up with like a straight like push kick
Yeah.
to the same spot, but then like it just like missed because like, he went down
He went
before.
down,
yeah. Fucking brutal. I'm
Did
gonna
he
send
end
it
up
to you.
winning?
Yeah, dude. The guy didn't get up from that.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
he just stayed there.
A full kick to the ribs, bro?
Yeah, he broke his ribs. I'm sure.
I'm
right?
sure.
Yeah, dude, that guy's a savage.
Well, similar to when was it Aldo that kicked Uriah Faber's thigh into next year? Like just he had like
Turned
muscle
purple?
loss or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
That I think Edson Barboza beat the brakes off somebody with leg kicks, made them tap out just from leg kicks.
Terry Adam.
No, Terry Edom was a wheel kick to the head.
That's pretty sick.
That was Justin Barboza did to him.
Yeah.
I can't remember who it was that he fucked up his leg.
He fucked up Dan Hooker pretty bad, but that was to the body.
Hmm.
Like it was like
And the leg kicks are on the way down, like not
yeah, he does
horizontal,
like the
but
choppers.
wham.
They're like chopping.
Yeah.
That's that classic Brazilian style,
So
man.
even
jute
if
box.
You,
Yeah.
Even if you do go up to like defend it, it'll hit you like right on the top of the quad. Oof.
So who else fighting? Who else fighting tomorrow?
Honestly, I don't know. I just know it's
so
I just know it's that one.
bantamweight fight. I know there was a fight that was canceled. I don't know for what.
who's on the Israel Adesanya and Alexander Pereira fight?
Dorino and Jorge Masvidal.
Ooh, that's a good.
Yeah,
one.
that's the co-main.
Masvidal
think.
said he's ready to come back, bro.
I
He
think.
said he wanted.
Dude, if he beats Dorino, he's back in title contention.
yeah,
That's the stupid thing.
he ain't gonna win.
I don't know
I
if
don't
it was
think so.
recent or before. He was on the Joe Rogan podcast and was just like, he's like, I'm fiending to get back in. He's like, but I had to get my mind right. It was like my body was ready, but like mentally, my team was like, nah, you gotta take time off.
Had to
It's
get
like,
the legal issues fixed.
that too.
I think Dorino wins. He's just in it.
I hope he wins.
I hope it does.
By
too.
what submission?
I mean, he may be submission, but he's definitely a better wrestler. He's just really good. Like on his stand up's good, man.
Yeah, it's been crisp.
Well, I mean, Jorge is also like pretty underrated on the ground.
Yeah,
Like
But it's
Damian
Dorino.
Maya said he's like one of the most legit guys he's fought on the ground. And that whole fight, all 3 rounds was contested on the ground,
Yeah.
pretty much.
he's a big 170
That's
pounder.
a lot
isn't
too
he?
coming from Damian.
Jorge?
Yeah,
I think he's average.
He's 170.
yeah. I mean, that's what the weight class is, right?
Yeah, I think he's average, dude.
Yeah.
When you look at guys like freaking Leon Edwards and Shavkat, those
Mhm.
guys are huge.
What'd you think about that Leon Edwards?
Yeah, I was gonna say. Speaking of Leon Edwards and Kuzma,
I didn't watch it.
I watched the highlights.
Yeah, I watched the highlights. Apparently, Usman just looked a step behind.
He's older, man. He's like
Yeah,
he's
man.
36.
35,
Yeah.
36.
This is the hard part. It's like climbing Mount Everest. He'll always make it to Camp 4, won't make it to the summit again.
Yeah, I don't think he comes back. I don't think
he'll fight again.
Yeah, I don't think he becomes champion. Let me correct myself. I don't think he becomes champion again. But I think if he stays, like if he takes some time off, like maybe take the rest of the year off, see where his body's at. I think he can just retire and still be fine. But he can also come back and maybe fight like down the ranks. He shouldn't be fighting like number 2, 3, or 4.
Yeah,
like that just seems stupid.
Also, the Bomba's coming back in 6 months.
Who?
Conor McGregor.
Oh yeah, that guy's fucking swole in his face. He looks so weird.
He's so big.
And his face.
Just from the images, right? Like, I'm sure if I stood in front of him, he might not look as like he's not like The Rock or something like that, right? But like from the images you see, like he's looking huge.
Hey, did you see the interview with Stephen Thompson? Because apparently they're training together.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I think Steven's like helping him like with the Ultimate Fighter. I think he's like one of his assistant coaches or whatever. But
who's he gonna fight in the Ultimate Fight?
Michael Chandler.
Yeah. So people are saying that's just a sham fight, like that.
Oh yeah, it's a show fight.
Yeah.
But that's the whole reason they bought Michael Chandler.
Well,
so
Chandler's kind of been like on a schneid, right? He hasn't been doing much.
No, I mean the last fight he had was back in November against Dustin Poirier.
And then that was
a great fight.
But Poirier is Poirier.
Yeah. But yeah, like Steven Wonderboy was like saying that McGregor is like not that big. But like when he takes pictures and when he's like on the camera, like somehow he gains like 50 pounds. Like he just looks so big. Really? But then like in person, like he's small.
Yeah.
Like smaller, but like, man, that's just, he's just natural at it, man. It's a natural entertainer.
I don't think we talked about this during the other podcast. They got hit by a car.
No, who got hit by a car?
Conor McGregor.
Did he really?
Yeah, he was riding his bike and apparently was going up. Did we talk about it already? I don't think so.
No.
He was riding his road bike, getting cardio, and was going up a hill. And so he crested the hill, and a car was behind, like either turned or whatever, was on the same road, and was cresting the hill. But when the car crested the hill, the guy was looking straight, and he got sun blindness, is what he said. Got sun blindness, so when he crested, Conor McGregor's bike was right there, and boom, hit the bike. He fell off the bike, got a couple abrasions on his thigh.
Who was driving, Mayweather?
No.
It's that old guy from the bar.
Yeah,
some old dude.
Finally, like, it's like
round 2, bitch.
I don't even know if the old dude knew who he was at the time until he like introduced him or whatever. And then like they ended up putting his beat up bike in his trunk. And then Conor McGregor was like doing a video, and the guy was like apologizing while he's driving.
I don't know why this story. Mayweather. Do you remember that story? Like a mutual friend of ours, Omar, lives in California. Yeah. Do you remember any story? He's like he was playing basketball at Venice Beach and the basketball courts, like the pickup games, and Mayweather was like riding his bike, and they stopped and like video camera him. He's like, let me play some basketball with y'all. I'm like, get out of here. And he's small. He said he's super short.
I mean, yeah,
he's small, dude. He's like 5'5" or something like that. He's not a big dude.
I don't know how much I think you follow boxing a little bit. I don't know how much you follow boxing, but Gervonta Davis against Ryan Garcia, that's gonna be a good fight.
Yeah, when is that? This is in April, right?
I think it's April. Yeah, end of April. But like, so
is he Chicano or is he Mexican?
Chicano. He's not. I mean, yeah, he was born in California.
Okay,
but he's Mexican heritage, right?
Yeah,
that's Chicano. Yeah.
But so I didn't know this, and then I googled it. He said he got. I think he said it was a drain clause. Maybe that's not the verbiage, but it's a clause that like you can't gain more than 10 pounds before you get into the ring. Like, so before he walks out, weighs himself, and if he's a pound over, that doesn't cancel. I don't think it cancels the fight.
But it affects his money.
It probably affects his money and would become a no contest. I don't know yet. I don't know, but I would think something to that effect. I don't think it would just be money because there's too much of a reputation on it. For boxing, there's way more reputation versus MMA. Hey, half your purse, I'll take it. If I lose, don't matter. I got paid way more than you did.
Yeah.
Like your boy, I don't know if he's your boy, homeboy with the big old beard that comes in like 10 pounds over every time and still fights.
Oh, was it
Chimaev?
Chimaev, yeah.
He's fucking no business.
What is going on?
Yeah, that was just once.
Huh?
That was his once. That was like his first weight miss ever.
He's a big 170er.
He's big. He's big.
A big boy.
I think the 3 biggest guys at welter right now are him, Leon, and Shavkat.
What's going on with Chimaev and Khabib? Are they kind of cool now? Are they not cool?
I don't think.
No, brother. You eat cake.
I don't think so.
They're not cool?
They're not even from the same. I mean,
Well,
I'm
no,
pretty
but
sure.
I know they're not from the. They're
I'm pretty sure they're civil.
One's Chechen originally, and obviously he's Dagestani.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're civil, but they're not like buddies.
Yeah.
I wouldn't imagine they're buddies.
Yeah, wasn't he not talking trash? Was saying like you're hanging out with the wrong people.
Yeah, he was calling like like
come back to the
come back to the Muslims.
Exactly.
Yeah.
See.
It's like what if Khabib knew me? He'd be like, quit hanging out with Gomez. That Asian Max is bad influence.
He's like, what's with this guy, man? His chin is bad.
No.
The wind touches chins.
But I think he was getting interviewed by your boy Ariel Harani, and he was like, I've signed all 3 contracts to fight Kobe, to fight
Chimaev said this?
Yeah.
Yeah, Chimaev.
The 3 contracts. It was Kobe, I think it was Leon.
It was Kobe like 4 times.
And he's like, I've signed it on my end. And
Kobe
it never got signed on
Kobe's
the other end.
Kobe's never going to take that fight.
No way.
No. Why?
The only reason he would take that fight if his Chimaev was the champ.
Yeah.
Well, and who's been trying to get?
Leon said he's not going to fight Kobe.
Yeah, he doesn't want to.
Do you see the Kobe interview? He was calling John Anik and like threatening John Anik in the interview.
Yeah, and
he
so dumb.
him and his family.
Why?
Because he's an nut job.
No, it was something about Bilal. Like Anik said that Bilal deserves the shot, which I agree with.
Mm-hmm.
And then he said he criticized John Anik for saying that and siding with a racist in Bilal Muhammad. And then why was he racist? Like
I don't get that shit, man.
And then he was like,
are they just hot takes?
No, he was he was trying to hype it up, and then he's like, he was saying to John Anik like, I'll because I know where you live and I know where your family is and all this, and like what, like dude, this is a fucking.
This is entertainment.
This is like one of the nicest guys.
And he's a reporter.
Yeah,
and he's really John Anik's supposed to be like really well respected, amongst fighters.
And then, man, speaking of Bilal, he did an AMA, like an Ask Me Anything on Reddit.
Yeah,
like he created an account specifically for it, and then I don't know how it happened, but he started shit posting. Like he's like making posts.
Well, he took a
shit.
It's
It's like really.
I'm on Twitter.
Yeah, it's like shit posting is, right? Like making like stupid posts.
Yeah.
Like memes basically,
Yeah.
and like he's been doing it like the entire time. Like he like photoshopped Usman's hand with the belt onto himself. And he's like my time is coming.
So he's been trying to fight Kobe or no? Who's the ones
he's been trying to fight anybody? Yeah, I think he wants to fight for the title.
Kobe or
Bilal.
Bilal.
Yeah.
Do you think he deserves it? The shot?
I think so. I mean, who else?
He keeps on winning.
Yeah, because like
he just doesn't finish a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean,
he just doesn't finish people.
He got his first finish like his last fight.
Yeah,
but when you look at it, Usman just lost. Colby hasn't fought anyone since like a year and a half ago. Shavkat just fought, but he's like way too fresh.
Who did Kobe lose to most recently?
He fought Jorge last year.
He won that fight.
And he won that one. And then before that, he
lost to Kamaru.
He lost to Kamaru.
He just got mauled by him.
It was pretty close towards the end.
Then
Usman slowed down. But if you look at Colby's record for the past like 5 years, he's had like 5 fights.
Yeah.
Like 4 or 5 fights. And like he's lost 2 of them.
Yeah, had 2 in 2019, 1 in 2020, 1 in 2021, and so far 1 in 2022.
Who is the one?
Well, it's 2023 now.
Right. You said in the past 5 years.
Yeah, in the past 5 years. Yeah. So he hasn't really done much
since March of 2022.
And if you look at Bilal's record, he's probably got like at least 8 or 9. But yeah, I mean, like Durinho is going to be fighting Jorge.
He's been fighting a lot.
Yeah, Durinho's been fighting a lot too. Chimaev's probably never going to make 170 again.
Yeah.
So I mean, the one you have left is you either get Shavkat back in there, Colby, or Bilal.
Yeah, Bilal's got 3 fights in 21, 2 fights in 22.
Has he won all of them?
He had a no contest at one point.
Leon Edwards was no contest in March of 21.
Yeah, for the eye poke.
And then the rest of them are wins. 3 of them unanimous decision and 1 KO.
Who do you think is a matchup problem with Leon Edwards then?
Like who's a tough matchup for him?
Durinho, right?
I think everyone's an interesting matchup at least, but I think the toughest matchup is probably
Durinho.
Yeah. I don't think so.
You don't think he can take him down?
No.
Leon Edwards?
He's not gonna take. I mean, he might take him down, but he's getting right back up. If Usman could barely take him down and hold him down, then I mean, do you think Durinho has better top control than Usman?
Probably not.
No.
Exactly, and he's not a better wrestler. He's a less educated striker.
How dare you? Then Kamaru? He's probably a better striker than Kamaru, isn't he?
No, I mean the thing is, if you look at Durinho's striking, I feel like he has more power, but he wings his shot way more. Like he throws more hooks, more uppercuts, but he doesn't really do straight shots. Most of Usman's repertoire is straight shots,
jabs, and straight crosses.
And Leon was killing him on the feet.
Wait, Chimaev won by unanimous decision to Burns?
Yeah, but it was a close fight. That was an exciting fight. That was a really good fight.
Yeah, that was a good test.
There's a couple times Durinho looked like he was about to finish him, and he didn't. And the same thing with Chimaev. He looked like he was going to finish him.
Yeah, but
they need to run that back. No,
he's saying he probably can't make 70 again.
I don't think so.
Chimaev?
He's a big motherfucker.
He's a big dude. I think honestly, probably the toughest matchup is someone like Chimaev or Shavkat, the big dudes that can do everything. You know, maybe Colby. Colby's an interesting one because like the dude's
the hard part is people just don't want to fight him because his negativity that he brings to the fight.
Who?
Colby.
No, everyone wants to fight Colby. Everyone's been calling him out. He
Leon
just
Edwards doesn't want to fight Colby.
He doesn't want to fight him because it doesn't make sense as a champion, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's not money, right? It's not a money fight, is it?
Yeah, nah.
Yeah, he even said it. He's like it doesn't make sense why I don't get why he deserves this fight. You know, like, I'm sure if they had fought before the title, Leon would have taken no problem. He would have fought anybody.
Yeah.
But like Colby's just ducking everybody. Doesn't make sense, man. Wasted talent.
So if Masvidal wins, he gets the next championship fight.
Probably.
And then Colby Durinho.
I don't think Colby takes that fight.
Why?
I don't think so.
He's a loser.
Because Durinho lost?
I don't think he takes it
if Durinho loses.
All right, look. If you look again at that record of who Colby fought,
okay,
right? 2019, he fought Robbie Lawler, and then fought Kamaru, and then 2020 he fought Tyron Woodley, and then he fought Kamaru.
Tyron Woodley doesn't.
And then in 2022, last year, he fought Jorge Masvidal. That was probably his most legitimate ranked opponent at that time.
Right, unanimous decision.
Yeah, because like Tyron Woodley was on the downslide.
Yeah,
Robbie Lawler was already past his prime. You know, the guys he's fighting, there's no even if you go further back than that, the only guy that's more legitimate is Dos Anjos, and that was for the interim title. Mm-hmm. And before that, it was Damian Maia. So he's fighting like big names, but he's not fighting good guys at the time.
Since he fought Dos Anjos, he's lost the title fight twice to Usman.
Yeah. And yeah, they're close fights, and that's the reason people are like rating him pretty high.
Decision,
but you know, he's got to keep his rank, man. Just like Justin, I was doubting Justin. I was like Justin Gaethje. I was like, man, he doesn't belong at the top. He needs to fight down, and then he just dismantles Viziev, and I'm like, all right, then he deserves to be at the top.
Yeah.
If Colby did the same thing, then I would be more agreeable to saying like, all right, you deserve to be where you are. But right now, it's just like. You haven't done shit besides run your mouth.
Trump's coattails, bro.
Exactly, man. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense, man.
Mm-hmm. So, you want to talk about some jiu-jitsu?
Huh?
What you got?
Well, pains are this week. They got some
into this weekend, yeah.
Into this weekend. There's some
Savages lined up.
Well, so I was. We talk about Murgali.
He's back in the gi. Yeah.
He's back in the gi. He's been training with Danaher, nonstop no gi with Gordon Ryan, and then I guess I was watching the Flow Grappling All Access, which I love those things, man. I love the All Access behind the scenes whenever they go to the teams before they go to a tournament or something like a major tournament. Anyway, so they were interviewing him. Like, yeah, I just put on the gi, 2 weeks ago. Like because I decided I wanted to like up until 3 weeks ago. I didn't know if I was going to do Pan Ams, but I decided 3 weeks ago I was going to do it. So I've been training in the gi for like the past 2 weeks, He goes, they're like, what do you mean? Like, you haven't been training the gi that much at all? He's like, no, just recently. So I do gi. We do no gi in the morning and gi at night, or gi in the afternoon or something like that. And
you think that's mind game?
I don't know why he would make that up.
Because Mikey said it too. When he first fought in no gi again, he was like, "Oh, I've only been training no gi hard for the past 2 weeks. Been focused on the gi."
Yeah, I think that you can. I think the transition to no gi from gi is easier. I mean, let's look for Mergali's one of the fucking badasses at gi. You know, and he's like, he's a finisher. He's amazing. But like, I was like, but I'm just telling you from the watching him roll, and then like he didn't have the caliber of training partners in the gi.
With Danaher's crew.
And Danaher's crew that like I'm sitting there watching the guys he's gonna fight like from Dream Art and like, you know, like the guys that are just like fight
gi and nothing but gi.
Gi and nothing but gi, like Anderson's brother and Anderson, you know what I mean? Those guys are like, you know, Eric Muniz he's beat him once and he's lost to Margali too. Like, but I was just like, how does that work? Like, how are you gonna just like? He was rolling against some purple. Like, I only showed him rolling against some random purple that was a lot smaller than him, or whatever. And I'm like, and he was tooling him. But, like,
so you think the gi game transitions easier, for lack of a better term, to no gi versus the no gi game to gi?
I think that case in point is like the majority of ADCC winners are all gi guys. Majority of gi guys. You know, like look at this past even as soon as this past year. Right? Who won the division? So I think we talked about this before. Like, Gordon Ryan was the guy who won his division, but
he doesn't put on the gi though.
Exactly.
That's the only outlier.
It's only predominant him and Giancarlo, but Giancarlo was like a predominantly gi guy.
Yeah.
Forever before he switched to Danaher, and then you had like who's the so you had Kanon. Won no gi, won his division. He's a gi guy.
Gassed up to
the guy from Fight Sports.
They all are.
That kid from Fight Sports, Baby Shark. He's a gi guy.
Oh,
so I mean, he does a lot of no gi. But
did he test positive too?
No.
Oh,
he did not.
Who were the winners? It was.
We do got to talk about that though.
66 was Baby Shark. 77 was Cade.
Yeah, which he's a gi guy. Just happens to do a lot of no gi.
And
then
then
they're gi guys.
88 was Giancarlo. 99 was
Kanan. And then above.
And then 99 plus was Gordon.
You know.
And then Yuri Samoes was the
Absolute.
Open.
Yeah, Absolute.
Which I mean, he does a lot of.
So is
and he beat up Marigali for it.
Is your hot take that Marigali?
It's not a hot take. I'm
you poked the bear, right?
It's more like
tell us how you really feel.
I'm curious, is he in for a rude awakening? And like, meaning like, he'll probably place, bro, in whatever division he does. Like, he's just that good.
Yeah.
You know, for sure. I'm just wondering, I don't know who's in his division. You want to look at his division? But
he's heavyweight?
He's probably super or ultra, one of the two. But he's going to be going against motherfuckers, man. Just guys who are just training nothing but gi, and they're training against top tier training partners. I was watching like the Checkmat behind the scenes, the Atos behind the scenes, and Alexis, and then where else did they go? I want to say it was Checkmat, Atos, and AOJ.
Art of Jiu-Jitsu.
AOJ, dude, they got some fucking just monsters. AOJ.
Well, they got Diego now too.
They got a lot of lighter weights that are really good.
I would imagine it would be mainly lighter weights.
Yeah,
just because of who's teaching there.
There you go.
You know,
a bunch of savages. I don't know everybody's name.
That guy's good. This guy's brand new brown belt.
The names aren't on there, but
yeah. I mean, he's the guy that's. I mean, this is his number one. Like Eric Anderson's brother. Remember Anderson?
Yeah.
His brother's a fucking monster. Just
didn't he win last year?
He won. Yeah. So they won. He won everything last year. Gold and double. No, he lost. I want to say he lost in the final of the Absolute.
I mean,
to Cyborg.
I never really count the absolutes.
So can you believe that? Cyborg at like 43 won the absolute.
Well, he's
Gassed
also
up. Come on.
Yeah.
So
He's juiced
What
to
do
the
you mean?
gills.
All right, let's say elephant in the room, needle in the arm.
let's talk about the juicing.
What was it? The NY Pro? What was the tournament that everybody tested
Yeah,
positive?
New York.
No,
Well, they didn't even test positive.
It was World No Gi.
Was it World?
World No Gi.
Wasn't that also in New York?
Like
though?
months later, they're like, "Hey, you tested positive."
Yeah. Well, they didn't even make the
World
podium.
Series.
Remember the podium?
No, they all like forfeited or whatever.
I don't know about they all. I know somebody
It just didn't
come to the podium.
It just doesn't come out till later.
I know somebody didn't come up to the podium because he had to pee in a cup.
The
Yeah.
first and the second guy both tested positive, so they gave it to the third place guys.
Somebody didn't show. What's his face? The guy who fought Gordon, that's smaller than Gordon, but it's got a big beard. What's his name?
Wagner.
Yeah.
Yeah,
just
Wagner Hosha.
They were like, oh, he didn't show. Like, he not ran away. They always say ran away from the test. He just didn't, like, they were like, hey, you got to be here at this time to pee in a cup.
When
he was like,
nah.
nah.
Like went out the back door.
Yeah. There was somebody who was like, oh, he was hiding under the ring or something.
Yeah.
Isn't that John Jones?
Yeah.
You're supposed to tell us where you are at all times.
But did you see his post, like Cyborg's post?
Yeah, he's like, he pretty much, to sum it up, he said,
He
everybody
does it. He does it. He was like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not fucking skirting the issue that I did do
Yeah.
it. You know what I'm saying?
but see,
it's not like, oh, I took somebody else's drink and I didn't know what it was. brother.
That was, what's his face from Gracie Bob?
Brother Steamer.
He's like, after I win, I'm so excited. Hey, everybody's around and water bottles everywhere. And,
I think it's somebody water bottle.
Somebody water bottle. I don't know what's in
drink.
it. It tastes like Fruit Loops. I don't know. And I'm like, get out of here, bro. There's no way. In my opinion, I mean, granted, I'm not a doctor, but there's no way that you drink something, it goes down into your stomach, and within an hour, you have to pee in a cup, and that is in your urine.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I mean, that might be in your urine.
Possibility?
Yeah, but
Because aren't the drugs
It takes
absorbed into your body?
it takes time.
Right. So
it
I'm
goes
like,
in your bloodstream.
which is why they were like, hey, that's actually not what happened.
Yeah. brother, it was somebody else. What? But
he's trying to say everybody does it, and I'm just trying to, like, almost the baseball excuse, right? Everybody does it. I'm just trying to stay equal.
He's saying he was saying, I'm 42 or 43, which I don't think has anything to do with it, dude. You're
doing it because you want to do it.
You're competing. You made the decision. He's saying that his point was you're only testing the winners, or like in the cup, and like maybe a couple of second place guys. You're not testing the guys at third and fourth, or the guys in the quarterfinals. You're not testing those people.
Okay.
They're only testing the winners. He's like, I'm getting tested and I'm losing to people who are also on steroids. So you're not, the way that he says, if you're going to do it
To
across
everybody.
the board.
Yeah.
That's his point.
Which, I mean, that's what they do with all Olympic sports. They test them all.
I agree with
yeah.
you. I agree. They just need to test.
If they want to be a legit, if the IBJJF wants to be legitimate, then they need to test everybody all the time.
Yeah,
they're not going to do it.
Exactly, they're not going to do it.
His point about, I also think that he makes interesting points. I don't know if it really helps his case in the city. Like, I'm doing this for free, and you're testing me as the winner. Because he's like, I'm not getting paid to do these things, right? I'm paying my own money to go and do this.
I don't think he's paying his own money.
Well, whatever. It's not coming out of IBJJF isn't paying him. That's his point. Like,
correct, but it's still a platform, right? So they might not be paying him directly, but they still have a platform that they market him on.
It's a platform.
If you scroll through Instagram right now,
no, totally,
he's on there. If you look at their website, he's on there. Anytime they do a commercial or something,
he's not getting paid directly from them. Okay. It may be
unless he does a pro.
Unless he gets a pro, but when you get his Worlds or Pans or Europeans, he's not getting paid directly from them. So that's his point. Whether they promote him, the indirect payment that he gets based on the notoriety, that's another story. At the end of the day, he doesn't get paid for it. He's paying, whether him or his sponsors are paying to compete at that tournament. So, and then you're going to test him for
such
something
a gray area.
Yeah, based on the fact that he won, as opposed to, if you're going to test everybody for...
So just lose, and then you don't got beat a cup.
Yeah, or... I mean, he was talking about his age. I don't know, like his age or whatever. He's like, dude, you're 43. Yeah. Like, you can choose
fighting
to compete.
Adults.
You don't have to do that if you don't want to, right? You don't have to, but he chooses to do it.
Dudes probably test positive just from pummeling on that
guy. I'm just saying, like, his point, like, do you think that like, how many people do you think
Almost
at the
all of them.
black belt level.
Almost all of them.
Almost all of them are on it.
Especially the gi guys. I think.
Whoa, like seriously.
I think so,
dude. The thing, the point is also like ADCC doesn't test, and they pay.
Yeah.
That's a
all right,
different.
so
they don't.
Neither did Pride.
Did you see that Nicky Rod thing
But that's different.
recently? A couple days ago.
You never keep on talking about Nicky Rod, like you can't really like the big or whatever.
Which one?
Which one? Nicky Rod? No, Nicky Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Yeah, where he was talking about Gordon Ryan being on shit.
Yeah, and then Gordon challenged him to get a drug test.
Yeah.
And then he was like, I think it was some sort of podcast where he's like saying that like, I'm completely natural. And then they're like,
right.
well, how about that? Like they tested him on the spot, like it during the podcast.
Yeah.
And like, I think confirmation was towards the end where they're like, okay, well, the doctor was like, okay, yeah, you are natural, but
you're clean now.
No, he's like, you are natural, but you're also gonna die soon. Because he has like high cholesterol, he's got like diabetes, he has like a heart condition, and it's like yeah, you're natural, but the way you eat, it's just like you're gonna kill yourself. He eat? Apparently, he eats like 3 steaks a day.
Oh, just nothing but red meat.
Yeah, I mean
Carnivore diet, pretty much.
That's gonna get you huge.
Yeah. Well, it's also gonna just be straight cholesterol, right?
Yeah,
no matter
I'll start overeating horse meat, of course.
And obviously, that's one instance of a drug test. You know, they might not have tested for everything. They probably didn't test for everything.
That's why Gordon's thing was you test. He's like, and I will pay for the test leading up to whatever tournament it is, right? Like every month or every week, whatever it is, you have to test. Let's say it's monthly, right? And there's 6 months. You have to test once every month leading up to the gym. You're clean, you get all the money. And he was like, nah.
But yeah, I mean, well, he didn't test. I mean, Gordon also said he wouldn't test either, right?
Yeah.
He said just test Nick.
Right.
So, like, if he's not going to test himself, what's the point?
Because Nicky was the one claiming that he
Nicky was the one who came out and said that Gordon Ryan's on shit. And Gordon Ryan's never denied it.
No, like, he's even said like, he's on gear.
Yeah, he's on gear. He's been saying for years that he's been on it, and he's calling out all the people that don't.
Admit it.
He's been saying for years.
Yeah, dude. He's definitely.
Yeah, he's kind of leaned into it for sure.
He's basically.
But never straight up said, like, I take steroids.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's never
but
said
he's leaned into it a little bit.
He's definitely never said I don't.
He's implied. He's implied. But, I mean, I think...
which I don't think you should be faulted for it, right? You don't like...
I mean, I don't think he's won all his titles and been undefeated because of the roids. I think it's helped.
No. I think that...
Yeah.
I think that
solely he's won because of the roids?
No, I think he has to do it based on the fact that if you think everybody in IBJJF is doing it...
Oh, yeah.
ADCC is fucking...
But that's the thing, man. Like, I don't...
And he still wrecks those dudes.
To the gills.
But like, Gordon Ryan's an anomaly. Like, he's an outlier. He doesn't count. Just because of his technique, right? Yeah. And his style is based entirely around not being athletic.
Yeah.
But then, like, do you think Craig Jones does steroids? He probably does some sort of, like...
He probably...
smaller PED.
I'm without
recovery.
Without a doubt, Gordon Ryan's on more shit than a lot of them.
Yeah, but again, I'm not counting Gordon, right? I'm counting everyone else.
You think he is on more shit?
No, I don't think he's on more shit, but he's such an anomaly, it doesn't matter. Like, even if you take away the steroid use, it might stop him from training so much, but it's not going to limit how technically
his size
renowned he is.
His size and how he looks.
Yeah, he's still going to beat everyone in any division.
I'm not saying technique-wise he's like a...
Yeah, exactly. But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
My point is that he's definitely on probably more shit than fucking Craig Jones is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Also, again, what I'm saying is, like, do you think Craig is on anything?
I think that he's probably on some stuff.
Some. Do you think the Rutillo brothers are on something?
No, I don't think they are. I think they're clean.
But yeah, I guess that's for the youth thing, right?
Yeah, I think they're clean because they've been upfront about it. It's like, we're clean.
Everyone's been upfront about it.
Mike is clean.
Everyone's been upfront about it.
Nicky Rod said he'll test positive for mozzarellas.
Those guys are clean. They may get it on it later, but they're not on it now.
Yeah, Nicky Rod said he's clean.
So
he turned out to be clean at least for that instance.
So is what's his name? They had no drugs on the ass of his gi. What's his face? Jimenez. He just did an interview and he's like, I'm back again. Like I'm doing jiu-jitsu like when I was 16. He grew out his whole beard and got curly mop of it.
That wasn't like you were like those vibes were right straight up rock vibes, bro.
Yeah. Oh my god. He was like, I feel like so happy like when I was 16, now, and 18 and I was like, why are you jumping ages?
He's like what's the goal here? Double gold, like we're gonna hey, but it's double gold, we're here to win, but like, everything is preparation for Worlds. Everything is preparation for Worlds. So you're gonna lose.
Again, like it's really hard to tell who's on what if they're on anything at all. Just I mean, we're all going based entirely
all
off
speculation.
of looks, right?
This is
Yeah,
all
it's all
speculation.
speculation. But then, like,
except for the
which
dudes
is
that
ha-
tested positive,
which is
at
half the
work.
fun, Max.
yeah, but I don't like. I don't think you should be in the camp of like they're 100% on it, right? Like, obviously,
Ideally,
there's guys that are 100% on it because they've admitted to it.
Wait a
But that's because they've admitted to it.
Oh,
Because they've admitted to it. Or
Okay.
So
like-
wait, if you cycle, you're not 100% on it.
no. What I mean is like Gordon.
Uh-huh.
He's 100% on something
Yeah.
Okay.
because he's implied he's at least like half-heartedly admitted.
Yeah, I mean, when you think of like dudes like, oh, I trained
What
three
about
times.
The dudes that fail, like Cyborg's failed.
Yeah,
100% on it.
Penn
He's
has
100%
failed.
on it.
Penn
Yeah.
has
Penn has
done-
failed,
Yeah.
They failed, so they're 100% on it. But then like guys that you just kind of give them like the eye test or like
Meow's
Like
failed.
like Nicky Rod.
Meow's
Yeah, like
failed.
Nicky
Like
Rod.
Nicky Rod is never.
Meow?
Meow's failed.
yeah, Meow's failed.
I don't
'cause
know
he's-
which one of them.
he's on it.
were both.
Nicky,
Probably-
so,
yeah, probably both.
But Nicky
I
Rod's
think it
never.
was Joao.
Nicky Rod's never tested positive or anything.
He's
like
never
that.
tested positive.
But he's
All we have
never
is the
he's
eye
never
test.
really gotten a promotion where he was. He did IBJJF.
Yeah, but he needs to put on a gi for that. I don't think he's ready for the gi.
Well, no,
Who? Nicky Rod?
Nogi Worlds.
Did he know Nogi World?
Yeah, that's where your boy Cyborg
Test positive.
tested positive.
All right. Well, let's see if you can get him on it, then maybe they'll test him. Right?
He doesn't make the finals though.
Who?
Nicky Rod.
Nah.
He doesn't make the finals.
What's his weight?
He's like ultra heavy,
Ultra heavy.
but like it's different. It's a different game. It's a lot of. I mean, it's a lot more positionally. That's one thing I noticed. Like we were doing nogi today, and I'm like, it's just. I feel positionally stronger than most of those guys in there doing nogi all the time. Like I feel better positionally. Like I know that I'm gonna not forego a position because I just want to go for a submission that's not may or may not be there. Not treating my own. I'm just telling you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying, but I'll dive headfirst in a 3-foot pool. Just.
Yeah. So I don't know, but like those guys that are constantly doing submission only, 20-minute time limit matches where we're not getting no points are being awarded, and that's constantly the way that they're training. And then they do an IBJJF Nogi Worlds, and
then you got
Cyborgs
7
fucking
minutes.
win it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because he knows how to game it.
Yeah.
He knows
Yeah,
how to
but
game it.
you don't think that Nicky Rod's style is useful in a position only, like a position heavy environment? Because I don't think he's gotten many submissions.
No, but like he's gonna go. He's probably not as strong in the submission game, but he's like
he's a wrestler's
well,
base,
like, he's
so
a
he can
wrestler,
use
but
that
like whatever.
wrestling.
He's probably like not as good from the guard standpoint. So if he ever ends up on bottom, he's probably gonna have advantages. People could probably look to attack his back. May not get his back fully, but those are advantages, and they're totally fine just with 1 or 2 advantages.
Well, I mean, I'd imagine that he wouldn't be able to get taken down, and he'd probably take it on everyone else. And then
They're 10-minute matches for him, no?
they're 2-minute matches.
yeah, and so he's got time to at least try passes, maybe get a pass or two. I don't think anyone's really going to sweep him that quick.
I don't think he's necessarily going to get swept. I think he's going to lose on advantages with
Yeah, but if
In
he gets
gi?
a takedown,
Wait, are we talking
that's
gi or
2
gi,
already.
sir?
Nogi.
Nogi.
Yeah.
I think that he would get. I think
Because if he gets a takedown, that's
I
2.
think
If he
that
gets a pass, that's
people
another like 3.
underestimate the level of how much you get dominated, even if you lose on like 2 advantages.
He's also not Danaher crew anymore.
Yeah, he's a B team.
So the B team, who's training the B team?
But according to
They have, like, an alternating-
According to Marigali, Danaher is training people in the gi so much better. Like I was like, that's my point. It's like, how's he training? You were in the best gi teams in the world.
Marigali?
Yeah,
Yeah.
now he's like, Danaher is amazing in the gi coaching. He just it's like, proof. What's your proof?
Is
of
it
that?
philosophy?
He's just talking about it. Like, who are his guys that he's coaching the gi that won anything?
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
true.
Literally zero.
he's also
So
not
if he
going to.
wins, does that prove?
But he's also not going to talk shit on his own coach.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, oh man, Donhurst sucks. I wish I was somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like, he's not going to say that.
Yeah, I mean, technically he won the absolutes with Danaher at his corner, but he was still with Dreamart.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't think anyone's going to talk
I mean,
shit on
he's-
their
dude,
coach.
What are you going to say? Like, who was his gi guy? Who was his gi coach?
Was it
Mary Heiss.
Yeah.
Mary Heiss is
Murray
the guy
Heiss,
who's
yeah.
like always coaching. He's coaching him against Leandro Lowe and those fucking fights. And
Was it Pans last year or 2 years ago where he like yelled "fuck you" at somebody in the stands or like put his finger up or something?
that was at Worlds.
That was a few years ago.
He was going against Victor.
He was
Hugo.
wrecking dudes.
He was wrecking Victor.
And he got
Hugo. They called him like a bitch.
Didn't they get DQ'd for that?
Yeah,
he got
DQ'd from that match and from the tournament.
And so he lost the weight.
He was in the finals.
He was in the final for the absolute, and that was the semis for his weight. So he lost. He was DQ'd for his weight, and he was DQ'd from. He would have double golded.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, man. Did you see that thing? The interview with Victor Hugo.
When recently?
I think it was recent. Like he was doing some sort of fight interview, and then they asked him about like how he got started, and he was saying like, "Man, I fucking sucked. Like I was the worst guy in the gym. Like people were telling me to quit."
Yeah, he's
but
too
then,
big.
Yeah, and then like he was like saying like, but then there's just a group of guys that like kept telling him to go and like kept telling him to like keep training, and he said he sucked for like years, like past purple he sucked, and then eventually he just like something clicked.
He just calls knee barring the fuck out of people.
Yeah,
in 50-50.
That's why you shouldn't be a dick to everybody, man. Even if they suck.
So
as long as they're trying hard.
I was gonna bring this up. Now I know why one of the meows tested positive. Have you seen those dudes' hands?
Yeah.
Oh my! Like every knuckle, there's like a gumball in every.
Yeah,
knuckle.
that was the same with Keenan.
And the nails are they're no longer, they're wider, flatter, like just, yeah.
Man, those guys are ridiculous, man. All right. You want to call it here?
What's up to you?
I just noticed you guys were wearing the same fucking shirt.
Hey, legalize Maradona, my guy. What's up?
Yep, got it from a friend
What's
on
that?
Twitter.
Handball?
What?
Yeah, he's got
The hand of God.
The hand of God.
Come on, bro.
So that was the handball in 1986 World
It
Cup.
wasn't technically a handball.
They didn't call it a handball, but he touched the ball with his hand that scored the winning goal against England. Well, technically he won. He scored 2 goals.
So it's known as the hand of God.
We can talk about that in the next one. Educate me.
Well, we definitely want you to look into the drama of what Italian soccer is.
And like,
I scrolled through that. I didn't actually like.
It's pretty a lot of
into it.
drama.
it's like too long.
We'll talk about it next time. All right, guys. Thank you for listening. Get out there, get hungry, and good luck.